Hey, good day. Welcome to another video. Uh, I just want to give you guys an update on what's been going on with me in terms of my job search here in Alabama. Now, for starters, for those of you that are new to the channel, or you never watched any of my videos, or you watch my videos but you didn't bother to watch the entire video, what I'm getting ready to say does not reflect the entire state of Alabama. It only reflects the region of Alabama in which I currently reside in. So, with that being said, I had a couple of more job interviews, and they both didn't go too well. And let me explain. The first interview I had was for a cleaning company. And what I was going to be doing was I was going to be cleaning a college. I was going to be working there as a floor tech. And the pay for a floor tech was, yes, you're about to hear this correctly. It was $9.50 an hour. Now, I will say for this company, the lady that gave me my interview, she was a very nice person, a very nice woman, and she seemed like the type of woman that I would have loved to work with. And in fact, I let her say what she had to say. I didn't even bother to ask right away what the pay was going to be. I let her talk. The conversation was pleasant, and she even told me some of the issues that she was having finding people due to the fact that this company was paying their employees so low. So anyhow, she told me that for a floor tech, she was asking me, "Would you be okay with 9.50 an hour?" And I told her, "Ma'am, I can't afford to work for that little bit of money, so I'm gonna have to decline this position if that's all they're gonna be able to offer." And she understood where I was coming from. And then, we kind of sat around for maybe 15 minutes after the fact, and we were just chit chatting. And typically, every job interview I ever had, typically, we do the interview and I get the hell up out of there. There's no chit chatting afterwards. I mean, this is the first interview that that I hung out for a little bit and me and her chit chatted. And again, very nice woman, very professional, she's extremely a hard worker. I just I'm with inflation being the way it is today, I refuse to work for 9.50 an hour, especially as a floor tech. With all the experience I have as a floor tech, I'm just not going that low. So then I go to another job interview, which was actually yesterday, and this position was for a groundskeeper. This is another groundskeeping position that, well, really, this was a position to where the supervisor actually reached out to me because I have a resume online. So the supervisor actually reached out to me through an email and stated if I was interested in the position to call the phone number that was provided in the email. So I did. I called the number. We talked for maybe a couple of minutes, give or take. And he asked me if I had any experience as a groundskeeper, and I told him, no, sir. And I asked him, would that be an issue? And he's like, no, no, we'll train the right person. Okay, fine, good. And then I asked him, well, okay, well, what are the wages? And he told me that the wages are gonna be from 12 to 14.50 an hour. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll give it a try. I mean, I never done groundskeeper work before, at least not the type of groundskeeping work that was being advertised. But I'm willing. If he would have extended me that opportunity, I would have been more than happy to give that position a try. Because as I've said before in this video, for those of you that listen, I mean, yes, say a lot of, I did give a lot of negative aspects about where I live in Alabama when it comes to the job situation, among other things. But I also mentioned that I still want to give Alabama a try. I still don't want to leave Alabama quite yet. I want to give it a try because all the headaches and the financial and all between the headaches and the finances that go into having to move somewhere else, I don't want to have to do if I don't have to. So with that being said, I thought to myself, yeah, let me go ahead and interview with this man and see what he's talking about. So I did. We sat down. We had like maybe a 10-minute interview, and then he asked me, "Well, does this sound like a position that you would be interested in?" And I say, "Yes, sir." Discussed what pay that I was willing to work for. I told him, and then he asked me, "Okay, well, let's go on the golf cart, and I'll drive you around the campus, and I'll show you what area that you will most likely be cleaning." So, okay, cool. So we uh, we spend about, I would say, maybe 10 to 15 minutes or so on the golf cart. He was showing me around the campus because this was going to be a groundskeeping position for a college. And I asked him a couple of questions, and the interview seemed to have went pretty well. At least I thought so. And then he took me back to my car. And then he told me, "Well, thanks for coming in for the interview. I appreciate talking to you, and just the typical PR bullshit." And then he told me, "Well, I got 15 other applicants to go through, and I will call you within 2 weeks." Well, I wasn't born yesterday, so I knew what all that meant. So with that being said, it's like, okay, I'm gonna just keep on looking. I'm gonna keep on doing some brainstorming to see what I could do for an income. I knew what all that meant. Well, sure enough, when I woke up this morning, I woke up, checked my phone as I typically do, and I got the email. It was a rejection letter, basically, as I've anticipated. I did not get the job. They decided to go with somebody else. It's okay, whatever. It is what it is. So now at this point, although uh, my old job up in Indiana is still on the table, I can still go up there and I would get that job and I can begin working. To be quite frank, there's a part of me that feels like throwing in the towel and selling this house and going back up to Indiana to start over because these job interviews are getting a little tiresome. Either A, the pay ain't up to what it should be, or B, the interviews just be, I'm not getting nowhere. So there's a part of me at this point that feels like throwing in the towel and going back up to Indiana. And then I was also doing some brainstorming, and I was also considering staying where I'm at and going for my CDL permit. I mean, my CDL license. Now, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I prefer to do local truck driving. I really don't want to go over the road. But I also understand if I were to go through and earn my CDLs, being a new driver with no experience, I would most likely have to spend at least a little bit of time OTR. But I thought about getting my CDL permit anyway because it would save me from having to relocate because with a CDL, I figure I would be able to find something local. And B, even if I did choose to move, if I still had the feelings of wanting to leave Alabama after earning my CDL and after getting a little bit of experience under my belt, at that point, I would be able to go back up to Indiana or wherever and make significantly more money at that point and live that much better of a life and be able to save a lot more money for my retirement. And also, I'm not going to go into too much detail on this, but I did have a business idea that is very feasible at this point for me. I thought about that as well. It's something that's strictly online. It would be strictly online. I would just have to set up a website for it. So I thought about that. And I also thought, well, for the time being, at least until the economy improves, I'm thinking I can uh, I can apply for jobs that are closer to the closest metro area to me, which is about an hour and a half from where I currently live. And if I were to, and actually, I've already done that. I mean, like within the last couple of days, I've submitted several applications and resumes to companies that were located in the closest metro area to me, which is about an hour and a half away from here. So, do I want to drive around trip 3 hours to work every day? No, I don't. But I'm thinking about everything under the sun that I can do to where I can keep my house. I don't have to move. And I figure even if I decided to move down the road, I would at least have a little bit of, while I'm working this said job, I would at least have a little bit of time to do some thinking. Like, I could sell my house where I'm at right now, and I could buy something a little closer into this metro area within an hour, as I suggested you guys do on previous videos that I made if you're a 9 to 5 worker and you're wanting to live somewhere in the rural community. And I was thinking I can either drive an hour and a half, 3 hours round trip every day, which is a lot of driving. It's a crap load of driving. So what I thought about doing was I thought about buying me a full size van and building it out to where, during the week, I got a pet. So I'm thinking during the work week, I can live out of that van. And then on my days off of work, I would just be home here at the house. Now, I don't know exactly how long I would do that for. I would do that for, 'cause I'm thinking if I did it like that, I could do that until either A, I just, something closer to my house opens up, or B, I figure out other means to make an income outside of working a 9 to 5. But I figure if I took that approach, again, I'll still be earning an income. I won't have to continue to dip into my savings or be relying on YouTube money. Obviously, I would still continue to do my YouTube, but I would just be earning a stable income in conjunction to my YouTube money, which will allow me a little bit of time, which will buy me a little bit of time to really think about things thoroughly and just be as practical as I can. And basically, this video is simply me thinking out loud and sharing my thoughts with you people. And hopefully someone out here who's in a similar situation to myself might get something out of this video. Or if anything, this could be a cautionary tale that if you're a 9 to 5 worker, you never ran your own business, you don't have anything online, and you're considering leaving the city and moving to a rural community over an hour from a major city, this video could serve as a cautionary tale to not do that. Because if you do, the likeliness is going to be high that you will run into a situation similar to mine, if not worse. Unless, of course, you have maybe your CDL license or you have a skill that's marketable to the community that you're going to be residing in, which I did discuss on my last set of videos, which some of you paid attention and you heard me say all that. Some of you, I can tell in the comments that either A, you didn't pay attention to when I was talking about all that, or B, you just chose to just totally discard the fact that I did mention those things. Because some of you want to sit around and you want to say I'm just sitting here making excuses, and no, that's not the case at all. I'm just giving you guys, I'm not making excuses. Believe me, I'm out here looking for work. I'm out here just entertaining all kind of ideas. So yeah, part of me, at this particular point, a part of me is kind of ready to throw the towel in and give up and go back up to Indiana and sell this house. The other part of me would still like to hang out here for a little longer and to continue to hit the ground and visit and entertain other ideas. Alright folks, that's going to be it for the video. I don't really have anything else to add to it. Thanks for tuning in and watching, and as always, feel free to comment below. If you like what I do, you can give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. On that note, stay blessed.